Hello there, it is Pete over at the Sampleist, and today we are checking out Sangara by Richard Harvey and Orchestral Tools. In recent years, Richard Harvey has gifted us these wonderfully curated instrument collections. A couple of years ago we had Andea, and more recently we have had Abacus as well. Now we have Sangara, which is a collection of over 70 Southeast Asian instruments. A lot of these instruments have never ever been sampled before, so we're delving into uncharted territory. Sangara downloads at 30 gigabyte SINARC compressed, and it's been recorded in 24-bit 48 kilohertz resolution. And of course it runs in the free Orchestral Tools Sine player. Sangara sells for €399 plus VAT, and of course you can buy individual instruments through the Orchestral Tools website. At this point, I would like to take the opportunity to thank Orchestral Tools for sending over a license for Sangara so we can make this video. Of course, we get the instruments for free, but it does not influence in any way our thoughts, ideas, or judgments. In this video, we are going to check out the instruments of Sangara, and then I've put it into a composition to see what it is like to work with. So without further ado, let's just jump straight in. And here we have Sangara by Richard Harvey and Orchestral Tools loaded up in the free Orchestral Tools Sine player. My first point is I'm really impressed with SINARC compression. This is a 30 gigabyte library, but it contains 70 instruments, different mic mixes, lots of articulations. It's a big library for not a huge amount of hard drive real estate. So that is a brilliant achievement. But of course, how does it sound? We have three categories. We've got wind instruments, percussion instruments, and stringed instruments. And of course, when you start dropping into these folders, we'll see some more subfolders. So in the wind instruments, we have flute, reed instruments, and other wind instruments. And then we get a bigger picture if we just open these folders. So you can see this is how we get all of our different articulations. Now, we're going to start off with the Thai Kuli in C. And I'm going to try and pronounce these the best I can. I'm not a Southeast Asian instrument expert by any stretch of the imagination, but I am really into the sounds of Sangara. So out of the box, it sounds like this. Instantly, you can hear the detail. It's really, really dry. Just popping over to the mixer, there are two mic mixes, and it is, yeah, just really, really detailed. Listen to the sort of breathiness. And I love the progressive vibrato. And of course, using the mod wheel controls the CC1. And there we go. Very, very expressive instrument. And of course, if you've used the Sine player before, you'll know all about the key switches. So the key switches work on the left-hand side. I'm just going to click through the articulations. That's the sustains staccato. And staccatissimo. Reaching over my controller there and I slipped off. Let's go for trills. Love how they lock into time with each other. Of course, it's over 70 instruments, so we're not going to go through every single instrument of Sangara. Part of the joy, as I always say, is just finding out for yourselves. So, the Sumatran Sauluang. Beautiful. Let's go for the sustains. And let's play some trills. Love the trills. Beautiful. Now, it's all about finding the timbre of instrument that you like. So if we do the Thai rote soprano plus shaker, I'm just going to play the... actually, I'll do this... I'm going to load them all up because there's some cool articulations here. So we have our sustains. And then we have some trill phrases. Very cool stuff. We have some chords. And I love these glissando. So just hold your start note and then hold the note you want to glissando to. Love it. And we've got these shaker single hits. So I'm just going to play that with the mouse. And shaker rolls. Very, very cool. So that's just a couple of the flutes. And again, like I say, the detail is absolutely incredible. The dryness. I love composing without reverb. So you can really like hear the notes and hear the detail of what you're using. So yeah, absolutely love this. Now in the reed instruments, we have the P chower. Love that legato. And I'm just going to load up the phrases. Yeah, brilliant performances. Let's just remove that. Let's do the P nai. I'll do the sustains with ornaments because again we're just listening to the timbre of these wonderful instruments. Some great reed action going on there. Let's go for the P drum soprano. So you can see it's a limited range, but of course you can extend that range as much as you want. And I love this feature of Sign Player. Yeah, so very, very cool. Just do sustain slides. Brilliant. And yeah, let's move on to the other wind instruments. So we have the Cayenne. It's going to play sustains, just get an idea of the timbre. And let's play we'll just do potato chords. That actually made me jump a little bit. I had the mod wheel right up, and yeah, it made me leap out of my chair a little bit. Flutter tongue octaves. Brilliant. And just going into the more slightly out there articulation. It's got native scale with high drone. Brilliant. So that is the winds. Now we've got the percussion instruments, and the percussion is amazing. I love the wind instruments, don't get me wrong, but I love the percussions. We've got drums, percussion, metallophones, and xylophones. Now, let's just play the clong fet. So you can hear you have single stroke, double, triple. Is it triple? Maybe it's quad. Okay, so that, again, I say that, these drums, they sound really, really dry, which I love. Now, there are so many drums to work through. That's a clong yao. I have effects articulations on some of them. Lovely. The Isan drum. You do have rolls. So you can use a mod wheel to affect a crescendo. Now you can see there are a lot of drums here. Let's do the Rebana medium. Let's go for the large. And these are really expressive. And they really respond to the velocity of your controller. Yeah, so drums, lots of drums to play through that. The percussion. So we have the Ken Tongam one hard, 2 players. Yeah. The grong. Do some phrases on the grong. Let's go bring that down a touch. Yeah, brilliant. And then the next category is my favorite. It is the metallophones, and there's so much going on in here. So for me, when I think Southeast Asian music, I do think there's a lot of metal work in there, as it were. And the metallophones in this library are amazing. So we've got tune gongs. Can bring it back up now. And with a collection like this, it's always going to happen that some instruments are going to be louder than others. So yeah, I brought the gongs back up. Absolutely love that. Just gone a little bit louder. Lovely. So that's tune gongs. We have large suspended gongs. And all these have different timbres, so you can layer them up together. We've got the... I'll play the tuned bowls. Again, these sound gorgeous. Beautiful. And one of my favourites, the Kong Wong Lek. Sounds good. I'll play the soft sustains for this one. Love it. It can always write lullabies on these as well. Steel tongue drum. And then let's go for the Javanese Genda. Single hits hard. Oops. Yeah, I love them. And of course you get different articulations. So I'll do tremolo, for example. They just resonate. Just sound amazing. And then the Renat Themla, I will just play it single hits hard so you can hear the timbre. Yeah, they sound incredible. And then we have the xylophones as well. So Javanese Kalung. Lovely. Let's do Renat Ek. Yeah, I mean, look at all of the articulations. Like the detail that has gone into this is amazing. So tremolo, medium, hard, octaves. Beautiful. And then I'll play Dan Trung. Beautiful. Then it takes us to the last section, which is the string instruments. And you've got zithers and dulcimers. Sorry, zithers. I think I said it right, actually. Bow strings and pluck strings. So the zithers, again, I use these a lot. When I compose in world music, because I'm a guitarist, I look for pluck strings or various stringed instruments. These sound cool. Went a little bit discordant there. Lovely stuff, though. And again, you know, we can have staccato. Love that cut off. Tai Kim. I'm going to use my sustain pedal for this. Probably should change key as well at some point. Love it. Went for a high A there and actually cuts off at that G. Beautiful. And Bowstrings, Saw You. So sustains legato. These are just wonderful. Lovely. Let's just play the portato long. Love the attack going on. And I'll just do some swells. Beautiful. And we have the saw say. Let's play the sustains. Really agile. Open string dynamics 1. Yeah. Lovely. So we're covering all bases. We've got wind instruments, lots of percussion. We've got pluck strings. We've got bow strings. Now, speaking of pluck strings, we have the Burmese Sawang Gauk. And I do often say this, as a guitarist composing world music, I do look for pluck strings quite a bit. Again, I use the sustain pedal. Lovely. I just realised I mentioned that guitarist thing twice. Or have I? It's a long day. Yeah. That sounds amazing. And of course, you have different articulations yet again. Grace notes. It's things I wouldn't really think about to sample if I was playing it in. Glissandi. Absolutely beautiful. So let's go to the Dan Guet. Nuet. Dan Nuet. There we go. Okay, so you can hear two different timbres. Whoops. If I compare the G's. It's like this one's been used, it's been plucked with a plectrum or something. Whereas this one, more finger picked. I'm not sure. But it sounds lovely anyway. Let's remove that. Typhon. So I didn't give it a chance to load there. Yeah. And we'll play some harmonics. Love a good harmonic. There we go. And why not? Let's play the last instrument, the jack here. Yeah. Oh, I love that. Whoops. Yeah. Just like the sort of like the string being sort of fretted, for want of a better word. Yeah, I love the sound. There's some triples. Brilliant. And there we have it. So that is a really, really brief walkthrough of Sangara. And yeah, you just get so much in terms of content, which is brilliant. And of course, with the sign player, you got the performance view and the mixer view, etc. But you know, the joy is within the instruments, and these instruments just sound absolutely incredible. So put it to the test. I gave myself an hour to compose, and I wanted to use only instruments from Sangara. And of course, I've just used the out-the-box sounds. I've not done any tweaking. I've put my master chain on, and I have added some reverb as well, just to make it sound more cinematic. So let's check out the composition and talk about what it's like to compose with. Let's talk composition. I had an hour to compose this piece of music, and my criteria was I can only use instruments from Sangara. So I've used 12 instruments, 12 tracks, and I wanted to go for a puppet theatre kind of vibe. But as the piece progressed, I just threw in some chord progressions so I could introduce a few different instruments as well. And I have to admit, working with the instruments is absolutely glorious, and I'm only really scratching the surface. There are so many articulations that I didn't even touch upon in different instruments, but for 1 hour's composing, I am incredibly happy. Now, as I've said, I love the percussion of this library, and I started off with the Javanese saron, and we got the auxiliary percussion and the kongwong lek. So I'm actually using that twice, and this little foundation sounds like this. And it's just a repetitive pattern. And then I do add the Rebana large, and we have the jacket just doing a tremolo, kind of a bit like a riser, as it were. And if I just unmute everything, we have the Kong Wong Lek. So we have two of those going on. the Javanese Genda, and we also have the Burmese Saung Gok. Sounds like this when it all comes in. Now, I love the plucked instruments as well. In fact, I love the whole library, let's be honest. But the Burmese Saung Gauk, there you go, I've pronounced it slightly better that time. It just sounds gorgeous. Absolutely perfect for a foundation. And then if we add the Gong Wong Lek, or both of them. Of course, I've split these two instruments, the Gong Wong Lek, across the octaves. And the Javanese Genda, if I just solo that, along with the Burmese Saung Gok. It's just so haunting. I love these sounds. Now, let's move on. I've got to stop saying how much I love this library, but I really cannot help it. I add the saw U, so this is for strings. So we add some sustain, and then we have the Javanese Suling in D as well. So if I just combine those two. Now you can hear there is like a delay in the legato between two instruments, and I did do that on purpose. So if I look at the MIDI, you can see we're certainly not on the grid there, but we are on the grid here, just to give it a little bit more humanization. So I'm not saying it's out of time, but when you hear it in context, it actually, you don't really notice it as much. I think it works perfectly. Now we have a climb going on. So the climb happens here. So we have the Sumatran salang, which comes in, which is a wind instrument. Gorgeous. So it's the same chord progression and the same idea just being carried through. Then we have a build-up. So we have the two instruments working on the build-up. So the Burmese Saung Gauk and the Kong Long Lek. And for some reason, I decided to add a bar of 2/4 there, just to make it slightly less formulaic, I guess. Now, because we have the saw U just holding on, this is probably an area where I would have added a melody given the time, but just listening to this part. I just love the lift that goes on that. And then it becomes a really, really straightforward A minor chord progression. And we have the P-Jum Sopriano. There we go. That is mirroring the Javanese Sulong in D. I just wanted to hear a comparison, so I just kept the melodies the same, and I kind of like staggered the rhythm here. I quite like the feel of that. And then we just end with the ending. Absolutely gorgeous. Now, there are 70 instruments, or just over 70 instruments in this collection, and I've just used 12 tracks and even doubled up a couple of instruments. So there is so much content, but I have to admit, I just found composing with Sangara just absolutely effortless, and the ideas were flowing and the inspiration was there. Should I have more time, then obviously I'd add more to it, do some more exploration. I wanted to add some articulations to just make the performances a bit more authentic. But generally, I'm just using sustains. It's straight out the box. It's using a single mic position. I've just used my master chain and some reverb to just sort of polish the mix and a little bit of panning. But yeah, absolutely blown away. Just a fantastic library. My closing thoughts about Sangara by Richard Harvey and Orchestral Tools is, wow, it is just a gorgeous library to work with. Once you start delving into the different instruments, the articulations, the round robins of velocity layers, the mic mixes, it is just a huge library with lots and lots of different options. It works both for traditional performances and of course cinematic music, and anywhere you really want to fit it in. So if you are a movie composer, a video game composer, TV shows, this is going to work really, really well for you. And of course, there are over 70 instruments, and some of these have never been sampled before. So you have this amazing new instrument pool in your home studio, in your DAW. And of course, it's typical Orchestral Tools high standards. The sampling is absolutely impeccable. The performances by Richard Harvey and all of the other performers are brilliant. It's just full of character, it's full of detail, it's full of nuance, and that's really what you want. In my demo, I just scratched the surface, and when you start playing with the articulations and programming them, you're just going to find a really, really diverse and rich sounding library. Do I recommend it? Of course I do. If you need instruments from Southeast Asia, it's a perfect library. In fact, it's the only library that you are going to need, and the only library in existence, because, as I say, these are brand new, never been sampled before instruments. It's just worth its weight in gold as far as I'm concerned. So it is a massive recommendation. Head over to Orchestral Tools, check out the demos, and just see if it's something that you need to put in your composing palette. For me, I make loads of world music, so this is an absolute godsend. All I like to do is take the opportunity once again to thank Orchestral Tools for sending over a copy of Sangara so we could make this video. If you like what you heard, feel free to leave a like on the video and drop us a comment. Have you already bought Sangara? What do you think about it? Are you thinking about picking it up? And how would you use it? And of course, please check out our other videos on YouTube. And of course, please consider subscribing to our channel. At this point, I would just like to mention that we don't use any kind of affiliate links. There's no advertising. We make absolutely no money from the channel. We just create these videos so we can spread these amazing libraries from these wonderful developers, and you can make some more informed decisions should you purchase or not. So we're just trying to help everyone out by making this content, and we would just really appreciate your subscription to just support the channel and keep it growing. Until next time, have a great day and keep making that beautiful music. Take care.